Champaign police are mourning the loss of a retired officer. 58-year-old Rob Wills died last night. He had cancer. He left behind quite a legacy. WCIA3's Courtney Bunting is live in the newsroom tonight. Courtney, there is no end to the nice things people have to say about him.
That's right, Paul. In fact, when you say his name to anyone who knew him, they immediately smile. Wills spent his life serving the community, so I talked to a few of the countless lives he touched.
Just pure, genuine, caring individual.
Everyone seemed to know him. He seemed to know them, and there was no stranger for Rob.
Super friendly, easygoing with the kids.
I think he was very sincere and just real down to earth. He always smiled.
You could ask anyone and never hear a bad thing about Rob Wills. The former Champaign school resource officer passed away after battling cancer for a year and a half. But for many, like Beth Barnett, the memories of his selflessness will live forever.
He'd just be there for you. And that was me as a person, me as a secretary, or any of the students that needed him. He was there for you.
Wills was one of the first school resource officers in Champaign. He worked with Barnett and Vicki Jones at Franklin Middle School.
He could de-escalate a lot, too, real quick. I don't know what would have happened had he not been there.
Former Champaign Police Sergeant Scott Friedline remembers Wills' sense of humor fondly.
One of the things we used to joke about was Pirate Night. And what we would do is we would go out and do liquor enforcement details, and it was talk like a pirate. He's going to be a huge, huge, huge loss.
He loved not only being with kids, he loved almost being a kid. Yet at the same time, he had that ability to be a police officer and do what he needed to do when he needed to do it.
At 58, Wills seemed to have had the impact of someone who's lived twice his years, though those who knew him well wish he'd had the chance to be here that long.
He's gone too soon. His family's going to dearly miss him, and I know how much we're going to miss him, and I can only imagine the hole that he's going to be leaving for his family.
Wills will also be remembered for his love of all things Disney, including Disney World. Everyone who I talked to said he loved to take trips there. They say it made sense because he was truly a kid at heart in the best way. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Thanks for sharing his story, Courtney. Thanks again. School resource officer wasn't the only role Wills filled, as you can expect. He was also a field training officer and on the crisis intervention team for Champaign Police. On top of that, he was at one point the chief of police in Slidell.